3 years ago, February 14th fell on a Thursday. I remember because I almost canceled my plans with Erin. We had been seeing each other for a few months, still in that stage where everything felt fragile, like a glass you could crack if you held it wrong. She texted me that afternoon, "Can't wait for tonight, red heart." Simple, normal, nothing you'd screenshot and save because it might be the last normal thing you ever receive. I left work late in Portland, grabbed a small box of chocolates, and drove toward her apartment across the river. Traffic was slow, radio full of love songs, callers dedicating messages that made me roll my eyes. I tried Erin twice. No answer. I figured she was in the shower or getting ready. About 10 minutes from her place, she finally called back. "Hey," I said, smiling already. "I was starting to think you forgot me." There was breathing on the line. Not crying, not speaking, just breathing, shaky and uneven. "Erin." Then she whispered, "I think someone's in my apartment." I laughed because people laugh when the alternative is panic. "What? Like maintenance or something?" "No," she said. "I heard the door. And footsteps." My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "Did you lock it?" "Yes. I always lock it." A thud echoed through the phone, distant but clear. She sucked in a breath. "I'm in the bedroom," she said. "I locked myself in." "Call 911, I told her. I did. "They're coming." Another sound. Slow. A drag across the floor, like something heavy being pulled. Then a pause. Then a single step. I remember every second of that drive. Red lights felt personal, like the city itself wanted me to arrive too late. Erin stayed on the phone, whispering what she could hear. The footsteps moved through her living room, stopped outside the hallway. "I can see the shadow," she said. I asked, "Under the door?" "Yes." Her voice was breaking now. "It's just standing there." I kept telling her help was coming. I kept telling her to stay quiet. I kept telling her everything people say when they have no control. The doorknob rattled. She gasped, and I shouted her name, so loud drivers in the next lane stared at me. The knob turned again, slower this time, deliberate, like whoever was out there knew she was listening. Then it stopped. The shadow didn't move. For maybe a minute, there was nothing. No steps, no breathing except hers and mine tangled together through the speaker. "Maybe they left," I said, though I didn't believe it. "I don't hear anything," she whispered. And that's when a voice right next to her phone inside the room with her said very calmly, "I'm still here." The line went dead. I don't remember parking. I don't remember getting out of the car. I just know I was suddenly in front of Erin's building heart, trying to punch its way out of my chest. Police lights were already flashing, washing the brick walls in red and blue. 2 officers stopped me at the entrance. I kept saying her name over and over, like if I said it enough, she would answer. They asked who I was. I told them. One of them spoke into his radio, listening, nodding. Then his expression changed, not dramatic, just resigned. "Sir," he said, "we need you to wait out here." I tried to push past him. He held firm. Minutes crawled by. A stretcher came out, but it was empty. That confused me more than anything. I kept expecting chaos, shouting something. Instead, the building felt muffled, like everyone had agreed not to make noise. Finally, a detective came down. Mid-50s, tired eyes. He asked if I had been on the phone with Erin. I said yes. "What did you hear?" I told him. The footsteps, the shadow, the voice. He wrote it all down carefully, then asked something that still wakes me up some nights. "Are you sure it was a man?" I think so," I said. It sounded low. He nodded slowly. "We didn't find anyone else in the apartment." I stared at him. "What do you mean?" "The front door was locked. Chain on. No signs of forced entry. Windows sealed." My mouth went dry. "Then who said that?" He didn't answer. "They let me see her later at the hospital. She was alive, physically fine, but she wouldn't talk about what happened after the call dropped. Every time I tried, she would shake her head and start to cry." We lasted 2 more months. After that, she moved back with her parents in Columbus. New number, new job. Eventually, she stopped replying at all. I tried to convince myself trauma does that to people. It changes them. Makes them want distance from anything connected to the memory. Then last year on Valentine's Day, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text message. I'm still here. No emojis. No explanation. I called it instantly. Disconnected. I texted back, asked who it was, begged for an answer. Nothing. I even reached out to one of Erin's old friends through social media. She told me Erin had been doing better, had started dating someone new, and had never mentioned contacting me. I changed my number after that. Moved apartments. Tried to bury it. But tonight while writing this, my phone lit up again. New number. Same message. I'm still here. I don't know if it's a prank. I don't know if someone heard about that night and thinks this is funny. What I do know is that every time it happens, I hear that voice exactly the way it sounded through the speaker. Close. Certain. Inside the room. And I live alone. We have been together a little over a year. She was warm, funny, the kind of person who left encouraging notes in my coat pocket. That February, she insisted we avoid crowded restaurants and celebrate at her place instead. She said she had a surprise plan, something personal, something I'd never forget. I joked that it sounded ominous. She laughed, kissed me, and told me to arrive at 8. I remember the street was unusually quiet when I parked outside her townhouse. No music from neighbors, no couples walking around, nothing. Her porch light was on glowing yellow against the dark, and the front door was slightly open. I figured she had left it that way for me. Inside, the house smelled like roses and melted candle wax. Dozens of candles flickered across the living room, leading down the hallway like a path. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Follow the lights. Don't speak. I smiled, thinking Emily was trying to be theatrical. She loved dramatic gestures. I texted back, very funny. Another message arrived instantly. Unknown number. I can see you. Please don't ruin it. A cold thread slipped through my chest. I glanced around, half expecting her to jump out with a camera, laughing. Emily. I called anyway. No answer. The hallway felt longer than usual. Every step made the floor creak louder than it should have. There were photographs taped to the wall, pictures of us. Coffee dates. Road trips. Selfies I didn't remember taking. Some of them were shot from outside windows. I stopped walking. My first thought was that she'd hired someone to help set this up. Maybe a friend. But the angles were wrong. Too distant. Too hidden. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. You spoke. I typed, who is this? 3 dots appeared, vanished, then came back. Unknown number. Keep going. At the end of the hallway, her bedroom door stood open. Candlelight trembled across the walls. On the bed sat a small gift box wrapped in red paper. But Emily wasn't there. My voice came out thin. I picked up the box. Inside was her phone. The screen lit up in my hand, already unlocked, already recording video. It showed me, standing in the doorway, holding the phone. I turned, expecting to find a camera behind me, but there was nothing. The footage wasn't live. It lagged by a few seconds. I watched myself turn on the screen, confusion spreading across my face like ink and water. Then the camera angle shifted. Now I was downstairs, pointed at the front of the house. A white van idled at the curb. My heart began to hammer. I hadn't seen any van when I arrived. The video timestamp read 7:42 p.m. I had gotten there at 8. The van door slid open, and 2 figures walked toward the house. The camera zoomed in, grainy but clear enough. Emily answered the door. She looked nervous. She kept glancing back inside like she expected someone. Me. One of the figures handed her something. A bouquet, maybe. She hesitated, then stepped aside and let them enter. The video jumped. Static cracked across the screen. When the image came back, the camera was on the floor, tilted sideways. I could see shoes moving fast, hear Emily's voice, strained, saying, "Wait, this isn't what we agreed." Agreed. The feed ended. I stared at her phone, trying to force my brain to catch up. A prank. It had to be. Some kind of immersive game. She liked mystery podcasts. Escape rooms. But she would never look that afraid. My own phone vibrated again. Unknown number. She wanted tonight to be unforgettable. I ran downstairs, nearly slipping on the steps. The front door was closed now. Locked. I yanked it open and stepped into the cold street. No van. No people. Just silence pressing in from every direction. I dialed Emily. It rang from somewhere inside the house. I could hear the faint echo upstairs, still lying in the gift box. I walked back and slowly, each movement heavy and unreal. Okay, I whispered, trying to steady myself. Enough. You win. Nothing. Then from the kitchen, a soft thud. I moved toward it, heart pounding, so hard I felt it in my teeth. The candles in the hallway had started to burn low, the flames bending like they were struggling to breathe. The kitchen light was off. Only moonlight through the window. Another thud. From the back door. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find, a metal chair, and held it in front of me like a shield. Who's there? The handle rattled once. Twice. Then stopped. My phone lit up. Unknown number. Open it. I actually laughed, a broken sound I didn't recognize as mine. No. The reply came immediately. Unknown number. You're already too late. Something scraped against the other side of the door, slow and deliberate. I imagined those figures from the van, patient waiting. I backed away and bumped into someone. I spun around, chair raised, ready to swing. It was Emily. Her face was pale, streaked with tears, hair tangled like she'd been running. She threw her arms around me, so suddenly the chair clattered to the floor. Oh my God, I breathed. Where were you? What is happening? She pulled back, gripping my jacket with shaking hands. I messed up, she said. I thought it was a role-play company. They said they'd stage a fake break-in scare you, make it intense, but safe. I paid them weeks ago. They stopped replying yesterday. Ice flooded my veins. The video, I whispered. Her lips trembled. I never asked for a video. A crash exploded from the back door as something slammed into it. Once. Twice. Wood splintered. Emily's nails dug into my arm. They came early, she said. I panicked and hid upstairs. I thought they left. The third hit tore the door open. Cold air rushed in, carrying the smell of gasoline and damp fabric. Heavy footsteps entered the kitchen. I grabbed Emily's hand and we ran for the stairs. My mind kept repeating one useless thought. This wasn't supposed to be real. Behind us, someone laughed. Low. Enjoying it. We locked ourselves in the bedroom and shoved the dresser against the door. My hands slipped as I tried to dial emergency services. No signal. Emily was crying, apologizing over and over. I just wanted it to be special. The footsteps climbed slowly, unhurried. Whoever they were, they knew we had nowhere to go. A voice called out, almost friendly. Emily, we're not done. She looked at me, eyes wide with a horror that felt ancient. I never told them my name, she whispered. The door handle began to turn, and then suddenly sirens erupted outside. Red and blue light washed across the walls. The footsteps froze. A curse. Then pounding retreat down the stairs. We stayed there for a long time, too, scared to move, listening to doors slam, engines roar away. The police found the house empty. They said neighbors had reported a break-in. When we asked who called, they couldn't tell us. Private number. The officers searched for the van. Nothing. No cameras on the street caught it. No prints, no evidence, like the night had inhaled itself. Emily moved out a week later. She couldn't sleep there anymore. We tried to stay together, but everything between us felt poisoned. 3 months after she vanished. No signs of struggle. No goodbye message. Just gone. On her kitchen table, investigators found a single Valentine card. No envelope. No fingerprints. Inside, written neatly, "Round 2 will be perfect." Every year since on February 14th, I get a text from an unknown number. No matter how many times I change mine, it always says the same thing. I can see you. I never celebrate Valentine's Day anymore. I sit in the dark with the curtains closed, waiting for midnight to pass, wondering if this will be the year they finally knock. If anyone out there is thinking about hiring strangers to manufacture fear for someone they love, please learn from us. Some people don't pretend.